Hey there, folks. This is... Oh, look at that. I messed up the microphone already. There we go. Hey there, folks. This is Terry Dana Chikimiak II. I'm the digital painter, and it's been a while, but I'm back with you guys and recording here. This is November. I'm recording on November 1st. Video probably won't go out for a day or so because it's been so long since I've done this, and really excited to be back. So for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, this is going to be a wordy video. There's a lot of talking, not a lot of drawing this time around because I'm just kind of getting back into things. So if you don't like the wordy ones, if you don't really want to listen to me talk, skip this video, move on to the next one. We'll have more succinct information in that video. This is more of kind of a, hey, look, I'm back. I'm ready to rock and roll. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here we are, and we're in Photoshop today because of some exciting things. And as you can see, I'm trying out a different setup. I actually have an extra camera for my hand. There was a video in the past where somebody commented, would love to be able to see your hands. Well, I have a second webcam now. It's actually my wife's old one, and you know what? I'm just going to turn off my face one, because there's really no reason to look at me, right? So which button is that? That's this. There we go. And so it's my wife's webcam, and she doesn't use it anymore, so we're going to try it out. I'm actually going to try it in a couple different positions. There might be a way for me to like mount it above me, but I got to play with some things. So right now you're looking at it from the side. I'm sitting over my Cintiq. For those that don't know or haven't watched the videos, I run a Cintiq 22 HD. I think that's the official name. It's a Cintiq 22. Love this baby, been with me for a while. So what you're looking at right now is actually an image of some renderings that I did for the theater production that I just called Dracula. It's the adaptation by William McNulty. And the drawings that you see here are actually a pencil sketch of our double doors right here, and then a sketch of our jail door, which didn't fully turn into this, but came pretty close. Part of the reason I'm showing you this right now is because Photoshop, for those that have the Creative Cloud or Photoshop subscription itself, just came out with a brand new update. And the exciting stuff about this is that Kyle Webster brushes that I've actually reviewed in the past on this website, are now included as part of the Creative Cloud. So if you're a Creative Cloud user, you get all of these brushes over here, and I'm going to show you here in a second how to add them, because they're not native in the program. You actually have to add them in. But I'm not using Brushbox right now. Brushbox is going through some updating things. We'll see if it ever comes back. I love Brushbox, but you know, there are things. But if you notice here, like the Mega Pack opens up, got eraser, drawing by, all of the things in Kyle's Mega Pack. So you can open up erasers, for example, and here are all of his erasers. This excited me to no get out when I found this out, because what it means is, well, first off, Kyle Webster's now working for Adobe, which, you know, is kind of cool, but also it means it's native too, and Adobe's working with Kyle directly to make sure that they work in Photoshop seamlessly. And for somebody like me who likes to use these types of art brushes, it's very exciting when it is seamless. It makes it a more enjoyable experience. So, a couple of things. If you have Photoshop and you haven't played with this yet, or you're thinking about getting Photoshop, it's real easy to add all of these. In the brush palette, or brushes palette, I'm sorry, and the names have changed a little bit. In the brushes palette, over here in the menu, the hamburger menu, right, you get more brushes. And what comes up, and I'm going to have to drag this over from my other screen. Where are you at? There you are. Drag this over so you can see it. What comes up is this page. And literally all you do is you download these into Photoshop. Now, unfortunately, I think I've downloaded all of them. Well, you download them to computer and then you add them to Photoshop. Unfortunately, as you can see here, I've already gotten them all, so I'm not going to do it. It's something that's, you know, pretty easy to do. But you download and add just like any other brushes. But they're all right here, all of them. And it's phenomenal. All right. So if we're looking at what I did on my drawing here, there we go. Let's reduce that. And this unit right here, as you can see over here, it's under, I'm going to close Gothic door. It's under lab door, multiple layers. No, the layers aren't named currently. And the reason for that is because I had a deadline with this show and I just had to get it done and print it out. But usually I name each of my layers so that we know what they look like. If we turn them off, you can see what each of them do. The very bottom layer is my color layer. Right above that is a pencil layer. Above that is my doorknob or door handle layer. Above that are my notes layer. Above that is some highlights. And then above that, literally nothing. So I don't even know why that layer is there. So we look at the Gothic door, all we have right now is a pencil layer. And so what I did for the cell unit, I'm going to show you a little bit with the Gothic door. Obviously, I did my pencil. Now, there's a couple of different places you can find pencils in the Kyle brushes. First, Manga's got some pencils in here. And you just got to kind of scroll down. This is where I miss Brushbox. You can do a lot more things with Brushbox. But down, where are you? There we go. There's a pencil right here that you can use. Or, more importantly, in the Mega Pack, you have the drawing box. And in the drawing box, you have like all sorts of pencils you can use. So we're just going to scroll down. For example, we'll go down to, where are my perfect pencils? It's actually the name of them. I think I went too far. Pencil high res, perfect pencil. There we go. So you can see here, I'm going to get in that layer, put me in a black. There's my perfect pencil, right? Okay. So that's what I used to sketch out these ideas. And additionally, straight lines, love straight lines. In Photoshop, you hold shift, you can create straight lines. And then what I did is I moved to the colored pencil. And I've got to find it. It's right here. Colored pencil, and that's what I used actually to color it all in. Now, for example, this unit started with kind of a burnt sienna base, which is a little more red than that. It's like a reddish brown. Let's try that. Let me see. And of course, I always do it on a new layer, so we're going to add a new layer, and I always, always adjust that layer below. There we go. So I'm in the right layer. I'm going to come in here. And I'm just gonna just color in a little bit, right? Again, this is color pencil. I like using color pencil. The first renderings that I did when I was in grad school at Wayne State were all color pencil renderings because of the control that they gave me. I'm a big fan of control, let me rephrase that. I was a big fan of control. I'm not anymore. I'm much more a fan of watercolor. And you know, in watercolor you can't control anything, right? So we come in here, we get some of this colored in. I'm not going to go full out on this, but this was my base color when we actually painted them for the show. And then after that, I came in with kind of like a Van Dyke brown and did some wood graining. Now you can do the wood graining a couple of different ways. One of them is just, use a colored pencil and just pull in some wood grain. Now I'm moving through this. Oh yeah, shift. Oh, that's too dark. Oy. There we go. Just giving myself some wood grain. Now this is if you're going for kind of a straight look wood grain. Just kind of giving myself a bunch in here. Now Kyle has some other brushes that could actually create better wood grain than this, but this is how I did it because, again, time crunch, right? We all know time crunches. So then we get our wood grain down, and then in the final version for the show, I actually ended up going over it with kind of another burnt sienna reddish. Now the problem here, obviously, is if you go over it with colored pencil, you're going to start to hide it. So I'm actually going over it very lightly, and I'm still kind of hiding it. Not a big fan of that. So you can use any of these other, for example, a wet pencil. Let's see what that does. It's still a bit too opaque for my taste. Now when I do my actual painting for the theater, I tend to use very watery. So why don't we come up here? Let me look real quick. Our load is 100%. Our flow is 50. These are all settings that can now be saved up here as part of your brush. But what if we were to take our load? Actually, what we could do is go over top of it like this, take it down to 50%. There we go. So I'm just doing another layer with a less opacity, kind of going over it. A little bit of color. All right, we're starting to get that look there. And then we can do it one of two ways. I'm going to actually do a third layer. We're going to take the third layer's opacity down to about 50%. And this would be, actually, and we'll go opacity down a little lower because I'm going dark on this. And there we go. We start to get that red deep wood that I'm looking for. And there it is. So we start to get this. Let me erase some of this. I hate when I go outside the lines when I'm doing drawings or paintings for theater. There we go. So we start to get kind of a dark red wood. This is, again, is a very quick. If you come in, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This is actually a combination of smudging as well. I did a 2-color scumble in here and then used smudging to kind of mix it around. And then I came later on with my lines over top of it. Actually added some nail holes and these, metal pieces for a cross. And then I did my highlights on a new layer. So what I would do, in this case, in this unit, I would go through and actually paint all of it with the same process. I'd do it all at once rather than kind of doing one line over here. So kind of my process. But again, the exciting thing here is that Kyle's brushes are now part of the Adobe Creative Cloud. And in my next video, I'm going to show you how you can also use it with an iPad program called Adobe Sketch. So cool things going on. This is, again, the first of many videos. One of the things I'm going to be working on this month, for those that are interested, I'm actually going to be sketching out a children's book illustration. My sister-in-law wrote a children's book. I'm going to be doing the illustration for it. Very excited about that. I don't know when it'll be finished, but I told my sister-in-law that I would have most of it done by the end of November. So here's to seeing that. I'm going to be doing a bunch of that sketching. You'll be able to watch, hopefully do some live streams, etc. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to have you guys following. As always, if this is your first time watching my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. I have a lot of people who have left comments on old videos. I'm going to try and answer them as best I can. And I just realized my face isn't up anymore, so we'll bring that up one more time. It's right there. There we go. I'll just bring this over here. So thank you guys, and I will see you soon. Take care. Digital Painter, keep on drawing.